Continue with the topic convulsions. So where we were seeing regarding what is convulsions, what are the different types of convulsions. So in this video we'll see what are the other things like causes, clinical symptoms, and what are the management that we have to do. So in case of causes of convulsions, okay, in case of causes of convulsions, so that is usually we see is that if there is any birth injury, okay, if there is any birth injury that is to skull, that is affecting the skull and the brain tissue, okay, if there is birth injury to skull and brain tissue, so that is usually that. In case of hypoxia, birth asphyxia, okay, so the causes it is mainly includes that if there is birth injuries to the skull and brain tissues and hypoxia, and then it usually includes birth asphyxia, okay, and also it includes birth asphyxia, so that is usually there. And next is in case of hypoglycemia, hypocalcemia as well as hyponatremia. So that is usually one natremia, okay, so that is usually about seeing that hypoglycemia, hypocalcemia and as well as hyponatremia. So in that cases also if there is any like less calcium supplement, so this is usually what happens, that also in turn leads to this, there will be chances that they might develop convulsions. And next it might be due to neonatal tetanus, okay, if the baby is suffering from neonatal tetanus or if they are suffering from meningitis, okay, if they are suffering from meningitis or jaundice, then also chances that they might develop this convulsions, okay, there are also chances that they might develop this convulsion, so that is usually there. And next is usually in case of congenital malformation of the central nervous system, okay, in case of congenital malformation of the central nervous system. So what are the causes they have seen? It is that it might be due to birth injuries, hypoxia, birth asphyxia, congenital malformation of the central nervous system. In case of the baby suffering from tetanus, meningitis and jaundice. Then in case of like if there is error in the metabolism, okay, if there is error in the metabolism. Then in case of infectious diseases, okay, then in case of infectious diseases such as pneumonia, and also in case of intrauterine infections such as torch infection. And in case of withdrawal symptoms, okay, narcotic withdrawal, okay, when they are continuously having this alcohol, drugs, everything, if they if they pull off this suddenly, okay, if they pull off this suddenly, so that time usually they develop this convulsions as well as, so that is usually about this causes of convulsions. What are the causes of convulsions? Birth injuries, hypoxia, birth asphyxia, inborn error of the metabolism. Then in case of like if they are having infectious diseases such as pneumonia or intrauterine infectious disease such as torch infection, as well as in case of narcotic drugs withdrawal. So that is also there. And also in case of like if they are suffering from tetanus, meningitis and jaundice. So these are usually the causes of convulsions. So next is symptoms. So in case of symptoms, okay, this like before that, so symptoms, causes, it is depending upon the child, okay, in infants it will be different, in case of children it will be different. So in case of older children it might be due to any viral infection, okay, it can be due to any viral infection, or if there is any head injury, okay, if there is a head injury, so that time also they can develop this convulsion, that is in case of viral infection, or if they are having any head injury, so that time also they can develop this convulsion. So next is symptoms. So main symptom usually it is that usually what is happening, they will be having sudden tightening of the muscles, okay, they will be having sudden tightening of the muscles in both the sides, okay, both the side, okay, so that is usually they will be having sudden tightening of the muscles at both the side, so that is usually there. And also the child starts crying, okay, the child starts crying continuously, okay, the child starts crying continuously. And also like developmental disorders will be there, okay, developmental disorders, that is brain and nerve developmental disorders can be seen. Seizures usually, it is usually what happens, like seizures will last for 15 minutes, okay, if seizures develop it lasts for 15 minutes. So febrile seizures will be there along with limb stiffening will also be there, febrile seizures will be there. So along with that usually they will be having limb stiffening, okay, along with that they will also have this limb stiffening, so that is usually there. So these are usually the symptoms that is usually seen in case of convulsions. What are the symptoms? Symptoms usually they will be having sudden tightening of the muscles in both the side of the child's body, okay, sudden tightening of the muscles in both the side of the child's body. Next usually what happens, they will be having the child starts crying, okay, the child starts crying, brain and nerve developmental disorders will be there. And also the seizures will be present for 15 minutes. So the seizures will be present for 15 minutes. And if at all if the baby has febrile seizures, it will like if the baby has febrile seizures, then they will be having stiffening of the limbs also. They will be having stiffening of the limbs also. So that is usually about the symptoms of convulsions. So mainly stiffening of the muscles, febrile convulsions, they will be having stiffening of the limbs, and then seizures will last for 15 minutes. So these are usually the symptoms that is usually seen in case of convulsion. So next is diagnostic test. So diagnostic test we go with history collection and physical examination, CT scan, MRI scan, laboratory studies done. Laboratory studies is done mainly to check out the toxicological screening, okay, mainly toxicological screening, where it is mainly due to drug overdose, okay, drug overdose can also cause this seizures. So therefore toxicology screening should be done. Okay, toxicology screening is done to mainly to check the drug overdose. Okay, mainly to check the drug overdose. Okay, so because that also causes the seizures. Then blood culture should be done to check out if there is any infections like meningitis. So that is usually, so in order to check that, we go with blood cultures. Okay, that is usually there. Then lumbar puncture should be done. It is done mainly if fever is present. Okay, lumbar puncture is done. It is done mainly to check out if there is fever is present or not. So that is usually about this thing. So next is like X-ray of the skull should be done, CT scan, MRI scan, everything should be done. So this is the diagnostic procedure that is usually done in case of convulsions. So what are the diagnostic procedure that we go? Mainly we go with blood cultures, toxicological screenings is done mainly to check out whether there is any overdose of medications. Then CT scan, MRI scan and X-ray of the skull should be done. So that is usually about the diagnostic evaluation that is usually done. So next is management. So in case of management, mainly the drugs that we give, it usually identified depending upon the seizure type. Okay, the drugs that we have to go to give, it is mainly depending upon the seizure type of seizure that is the baby has developed. So it is usually like anticonvulsants can be given. Okay, anticonvulsants can be given, and this anticonvulsants will be present in the form of liquid. Okay, it is usually present in the form of liquid capsules or tablet. So whichever it is preferable for the child, so that can be given to the child. So it is management. So management mainly we go with anticonvulsant drugs. So this is usually present in the liquid form also. Okay, this is usually present in the liquid form also. So that is usually available in calcium capsules as well as in the tablets. So that is usually about this management of convulsions, and this is about this convulsion. So convulsion, it is usually involuntary contraction of the voluntary muscles. This is of two types, febrile. So febrile, it is again divided into typical febrile convulsions, atypical febrile convulsions. Other than that, international classification of this convulsions mainly includes like it mainly includes grand mal generalized seizures, tonic-clonic seizures, atonic seizures. So that is usually like different types of seizures, convulsions are usually present. So that is usually about this convulsions. So next convulsive disorder, it is epileptic disorder. Okay, epilepsy. Okay, the next convulsive disorder that is usually we study, it is epilepsy. So what is epilepsy? Epilepsy, it is the recurrent episodes of unprovoked seizures. Okay, this is the recurrent episodes of unprovoked seizures. Okay, this is the recurrent episodes of unprovoked seizures. So that is, it is the fourth common neurological disorder that occurs in the children. Okay, so that is epilepsy. It is the recurrent episode of unprovoked seizures. Okay, this is the recurrent episodes of unprovoked seizures. This is the fourth common disease that is usually occurs, neurological disorder that occurs in the children. That is usually the etiological disorder. Etiology is mainly due to convulsive disorders. It is mainly due to convulsive disorders. So epilepsy is the recurrent episodes of provoked seizures. Okay, unprovoked seizures. So that is usually the fourth common neurological disorder that occurs in the children, and this is usually like this epilepsy, it is mainly done due to if there is any abnormalities in the brain. Okay, if there is any abnormalities in the brain, so that time usually this epilepsy usually occurs, and the causes, it is mainly due to convulsive disorders. Okay, the causes, it is mainly due to convulsive disorders. So next is pathophysiology. So what is happening in this, how does epilepsy occurs, that we see. So mainly due to prolonged depolarization. It starts with due to prolonged depolarization where brain cells become overactive. Okay, due to this prolonged depolarization, brain cells become overactive. Okay, brain cells become overactive and it bursts into due to this overactive brain cells. Due to this overactive brain cells, and it usually bursts the electrical current. Okay, it usually bursts the electrical current, and this electrical current which is bursted, it will be spreading to the adjacent area. Okay, it will be presenting to the adjacent, spreading to the adjacent areas. Then it jumps into the distant area of the CNS. Okay, then it usually jumps into the distant area of the seizures. That usually leads to this convulsions. Okay, that usually leads to this seizures. Okay, that usually leads to this seizures. So that is usually about this pathophysiology of epilepsy. So it is mainly due to prolonged depolarization. It increases the brain cells, and when brain cells are usually active, okay, the brain cells are usually active, it usually active like burst electrical current. Okay, it usually bursts the electrical current. When electrical current is bursted, it spreads to the adjacent area of the brain. Okay, it spreads to the adjacent area of the brain, and then it jumps to the distant area of the CNS. Okay, then it jumps into the distant area of the CNS and usually leads to seizures. So that is usually about this pathophysiology. So what is due to polarization, brain cells are become overactive, and due to this brain cells overactive, electrical impulses start bursting, and due to this what happens, it spreads to the adjacent area of the brain, and then it reaches the CNS and causes seizure. So that is usually about this pathophysiology of epilepsy. So next is clinical symptoms. What is this clinical symptoms? So clinical symptoms, you can see that it is mainly like they'll be having odd taste, they'll be having sense of nausea, okay, they'll be having sense of nausea, and also the child might develop, okay, they'll be having vomiting, nausea, and also the child will develop convulsions, okay, they'll be having impending convulsions. Due to this what happens, the impending convulsions start developing, impending convulsions start developing. So that is usually there. Then the entire body becomes stiff, okay, the entire body becomes stiff. That is usually there. Eyes will be fixed in a position, okay, eyes will be fixed in a position. So that is usually that the entire body becomes stiff, and also the face becomes pale, okay, the face becomes pale, and the eyes will be fixed in one position, okay, eyes will be fixed in one position. So that is usually there. Then it is usually seen that we can see some jerky movements, okay, then we can see some jerky movements, and this jerky movements, it is usually seen in the clonic stage, okay, it is usually seen in the clonic stage. Okay, next we will see about this jerky movements, and this jerky movements, it is usually seen in the clonic stage, okay, it is usually seen in the clonic stage. So this jerky movement starts in one part of the body, okay, this jerky movement starts in the one part of the body, okay, it usually starts in one part of the body, and then it usually spreads, okay, then it usually spreads, and in this clonic stage only the tongue starts biting, because jerky movements is there, usually what happens, the tongue starts biting, so therefore we have to protect the tongue, okay, we have to protect the tongue, and we have to also see that it will not revert back, okay, the tongue will not revert back and create some problem in the respiration, so therefore the tongue should be taken care. So in this usually what happens, so we have to protect the tongue. Then the frothy which is coming out of the mouth, okay, the frothy which is coming out of the mouth, it should be clean regularly, okay, it should be clean regularly. So that is usually the symptom that is usually can be seen. And next, this is about this symptoms. So normally what is that? So normally there is usually the symptoms, usually they will be having odd taste as well as sense of nausea, and then they will be having like entire body will become stiff, face become pale, as well as the eyes will be fixed in one portion. Next is usually what happens, jerky movements is seen, tongue biting will be occurring, so that we have to protect that. Next is that they will be having frothy of the mouth, okay, they will be having removing frothy at the mouth, so that has to be cleaned regularly, okay, that has to be cleaned regularly. Then headache will be there, the baby will be confused, okay, headache will be there, confused will be there, and if it is not treated, then the baby might go to coma, okay, the baby might go to coma. So that is usually about this what is that symptoms of epilepsy, okay, symptoms of epilepsy. So the diagnostic test that we have to go, so diagnostic test that we have to go, it is that we have to first collect history, okay, the first collect history, neurological and physical examination should be done, blood examination should be done to check out any secondary infection is present, CSF should be assessed if there is any infection, MRI and CT scan should be done, okay, MRI and CT scan should be done, X-ray of the skull should be taken. So these are the diagnostic tests that we go. So diagnostic test mainly includes like history collection, physical examination along with neurological examination, then we have to go with blood examination, okay, then we have to go with blood examination to check whether if there is any secondary infection, CSF should be examined, then X-ray should be taken of the skull, and CT scan and MRI scan should be done. So that is usually about this diagnostic evaluation. So next is management. So what are the things that we have to do in case of managing this epilepsy? So first thing is that we have to treat this fits or seizures. Okay, first the main aim is to treat this seizure. So tight clothing should be avoided. It should be loosened, especially around the neck. Okay, the tight clothing should be loosened. Okay, the tight clothing should be loosened. Then spatula or spoon should be placed in between the mouth teeth. Okay, in between the teeth, so that it prevents biting of the tongue. Okay, it prevents biting of the tongue. Then nothing should be given to the mouth, okay, nothing should be given into the mouth until the seizures completely go. So that is nothing should be given in the mouth. Then extra pillows can be used, okay, extra pillows can be used to prevent surgery, okay, extra pillows can be used to prevent surgery. So that is usually there in case of if the child is not, after doing this also the child epilepsy, if it is not reduced, then immediately the baby should be shifted to hospital. So this is about this management of epilepsy. So management of epilepsy, mainly we go with treating the fits. So this is mainly treated it is usually the tight clothing should be avoided. Then a spatula or the handle should be placed in between the tongue, so the tongue biting can be avoided. Then we have to clean the fourth that is coming from the mouth. Okay, we have to clean the fourth that is coming from the mouth. Extra pillows should be used to prevent injury. Okay, extra pillows should be used to prevent injury. So that is usually about this. Epilepsy, it is usually about this recurrent episodes of unexpected seizures. Okay, recurrent episodes of unexpected seizures.